Hello and welcome back to another video on the Football Zone and to a midweek review, reviewing all of the Premier League and Championship action from Easter Monday. But let's get straight into it with the Premier League. And on Tuesday it was Liverpool 4, Manchester United 0. Two early goals from Diaz and Salah gave Liverpool control, and then in the second half goals from Mane and Salah sealed the win for Liverpool. And like we saw earlier in the season, this is just a dominant win for Liverpool, and yet just an indictment of where these two teams are at the moment. United absolutely miles off it, but Liverpool were brilliant here. Moving on then to Wednesday's action, and maybe a bit of a shock result at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 2, Arsenal 4, and Nketiah with a goal in the 13th minute gave Arsenal the lead, but Werner equalised pretty much straight away. It's a similar story when Smith Rowe scored with Azpilicueta equalising, but Nketiah in the second half and Saka from the spot in stoppage time gave Arsenal a crucial win, and after their dodgy recent run of form, this was an absolutely massive win for Arsenal. I don't think you can overstate the importance of this. Puts them right back in the top 4 hunt. For Chelsea it's disappointing, but it's not the end of the world. They're pretty secure in third. Moving on then to Everton 1, Leicester 1 at Goodison Park. Harvey Barnes with the goal in the 5th minute gave Leicester the lead, but a crucial late goal from Richarlison in the 92nd minute gave Everton the equaliser and a crucial point which could be vital. And for me, Everton, they probably were deserving of a point here. I don't think Leicester were far better than them at all. So Everton probably deserving of a point, and it could be a big point come the end of the season. For Leicester though, frustrating to drop points so low on. Moving on then to Newcastle 1, Crystal Palace 0 at St James's Park. Miguel Almiron with a goal in the 32nd minute gave Newcastle the lead, and Newcastle, I would say probably the best team here, deserving of the victory, and it's a big victory from them. 3 wins on the trot now, really racking up the points, magic 40-point mark here. Not that it matters, I think they've been comfortably safe anyway, but they're safe now basically. For Crystal Palace, a frustrating result after the defeat on the weekend. Moving on then to Manchester City 3, Brighton 0 at the Etihad, and I thought maybe at half time 0-0, not much happening. Could Brighton held on and do Liverpool massive favour, but no, they couldn't. Goals in the second half from Mahrez, Foden and Bernardo Silva gave City the victory, and in the end it was quite a comfortable victory. City, obviously to expect, had the vast majority of the play, City with a big victory and stay top for now. Good win for them. Brighton intense, disappointing, but always a free hit.
Burnley 2, Southampton 0 was the score in the Premier League on Thursday night, and a huge win for the Clarets, and they were deserving of it too. Both teams missing good chances, but Burnley on the whole are better side. Southampton never really got going. Fair play to Michael Jackson. Had doubts at first, but he turned it round. He's done a good job so far, shall I say. Connor Roberts with a banger gave them the lead in the 12th minute, and Collins in the 44th minute gave them the second. There were some VAR decisions. Goal disallowed for Jack Hawke in the 64th minute, but still a great one for Burnley.
Moving on then to the Easter Monday action in the Championship, starting off with the lunchtime game and a crucial game in the race for the playoffs where Huddersfield defeated Middlesbrough 2-0 at the Riverside to all but secure their playoff space. Goals from Sarr and Rhodes either side of half time gave Huddersfield the victory, and on the whole it was quite a close game, but Huddersfield picking up the victory, clinical when it matters, far more shots than goals, so probably deserved the victory, and they're in third now, 8 points ahead of Millwall with just 3 games remaining, so they're all but in the playoffs. For Borough though, this is frustrating and they're making it a struggle to get in there now. Moving on then to Barnsley 0, Peterborough 2 in a crucial game at the first of the Championship, or maybe it would have been crucial a few weeks ago, but not so much now. But anyway, the goals from Jack Murray in the 25th minute and Taylor in the 75th minute gave Peterborough the victory. Barnsley, they pressed a lot of the game, and Bino never really created too much for the goalkeeper, 11 shots on goal compared to Peterborough's 4, but Peterborough far more clinical at the end of the day, and that's what mattered. But for Peterborough up into 22nd now, 7 points off Reading. They're going to need a miracle now. Barnsley all but down. Moving on then to Blackburn 0, Stoke 1 at Ewood Park, and Brown were the only goal of the game in the 4th minute, and Blackburn pushed for the goal, but in the end just couldn't find it, and must have been hell for Stoke fans having to hold on for 86 minutes, but in the end they did it, and it was a great win for Stoke. They'll be very, very pleased with that, and listen up to 14th in the table, finally starting to make some progress after a disappointing recent few games. But Blackburn, I just have zero faith in them getting back into the playoff race at the moment. Moving on then to a thrashing at Blackpool as they defeated Birmingham 6-1. Beasley, Hamilton and Dougal with first Cole's goal, and then Beasley again in the second half. Sunchik pulled one back, but 2 late goals from Joey Yates and Colony gave Blackpool the win, and Blackpool was just absolutely outstanding here, so clinical, really, really great performance. And after a recent dodgy run of form, I don't think many people saw this coming. But what a win still. They're in 16th, and Lebo, I think he's just going to come under increasing pressure after that. Moving on then to Cardiff 0, Luton 1 at the Cardiff City Stadium. The only goal of the game coming in the 71st minute from Harry Cornick, and not a lot to separate these two sides at all. So Luton getting the win could be crucial for them, with other teams queuing up to get into the playoff places. There's 6 points ahead of Millwall, 3 games to go. So I think like Huddersfield, they're pretty much secure. Not as secure as Huddersfield, obviously, but still looking very, very good to get into the playoffs. For Cardiff, obviously a disappointing result, but they don't have too much to play for at the moment. Moving on then to Coventry 0, Bournemouth 3 at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Jamal Lowe and Dominic Solanke with the goals before half time, and Solanke with another after half time to seal the win for Bournemouth. And after a few games without a win, this is a big win for Bournemouth, and just erases any fears that Forest could catch them, which is obviously good. For Coventry though, I kind of does think it just ends any faint hopes of the playoffs they have, but I think that was always going to be pie in the sky even if they won. Moving on then to Millwall 2, Hull 1 at the Den. Malone and Bradshaw were the goals on the 51st to 55th minute. Eves pulled one back later on in the 87th minute, but proved to be just a consolation goal, and Millwall picked up the victory, and deserving victors here, Millwall, so they'll be very, very pleased with that. And sitting outside of the playoffs now, still right in the race. They kind of stuck up, but doing a really good job there, Gary Rowett. But the whole disappointing result, but not a lot to play for still. Moving on then to QPR 1, Derby 0 at Loftus Road. Luke Amos with the goal in the 88th minute later on, and with Reading's dramatic late equaliser at Swansea, it sent Derby down. Tom Lawrence also with a red card in the 98th minute, and it kind of did seem like Derby were piling players forward to get the goal, but it didn't come, and the opposite happened. It is the end of the road for Derby, which is such a shame, because after everything Wayne Rooney's overcome to get this close, he's done a great job, it's a real shame to see them go down. But moving on then to the game that sent Derby down, and Reading 4, Swansea 4 at the Select Carleton Stadium, an incredible game. Zhao with a goal in the 3rd minute put Reading in front, but Wolf, Pirro with a brace, and Obafemi gave Swansea a 4-1 lead, but Reading got some help through goals from Ince and Zhao. Kind of looked like Swansea would hold on until the 95th minute. That man again, Tom McIntyre, in the 95th minute gave Reading the point, and an incredible turnaround. Not a great performance from Reading. Swansea probably the better team, but they've got some fight under Paul Ince, they do. Moving on then to Bristol City 1, Sheffield United 1 at Ashton Gate. Martin gave Bristol City lead in the 49th minute before Morgan Gibbs White equalised in the 61st minute. And in the end, I think Sheffield United will be disappointed with this one. I mean, just weren't clinical at all. Got the goal, but obviously I think they could have seen this a game which was winnable. So I do think deep down they will probably be frustrated with that result. Really, but it is what it is for them. It's still probably in their hands. Moving on then to Forest 4, West Brom 0 at the City ground, and this game was kind of over before it started, because in the 17th minute Darryl Furlong got a second yellow for a handball, which led to a penalty which Brennan Johnson put away. Then Ryan Yates in the 23rd minute, Jack Colback and Sam Surridge sealed the win for Forest, and in the end it was just a comfortable win for Forest. West Brom were absolutely abysmal, really, really poor, and Forest seeing a victory, and looking very good in the race for playoffs. Moving on then to Fulham, and they defeated Preston on Tuesday to secure their promotion back to the Premier League. Mitrovic, Carvalho and Mitrovic again with the goals in the first half, and in the end a comfortable win for Fulham. And they'll be delighted back to the Premier League at last. Felt like it could have been done a few weeks ago without their dodgy run of form, but they did it, that's the main thing. I'm intrigued to see how they do this year. I know they've got the reputation as a GOU team, but can they finally overcome it next year? It certainly will be interesting to see. But anyway, guys, that's it for you. Thank you very much for watching. So like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, comments down below. Follow us with description for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on screen, and that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.